Hey everyone, today we are going to break down ITIL 4. If you've ever felt like IT processes are more of a headache than a help, then you're going to want to stick around. We're going to cover what it is, why it's a game changer, and how it actually works. And we're going to do it all in just a few minutes. So let's get into it. First, let me ask you a question that probably hits close to home. Does your IT department feel like a partner that's helping you win? Or does it feel more like a bureaucratic roadblock that just slows everything down? For a long time, most people would say the second one. And that is the exact problem ITIL 4 was created to solve.
And that brings us to this fundamental shift in thinking. ITIL 4 is all about one thing, transforming IT from this siloed support team into a true integrated business partner that's focused on creating real value.
This slide just says it all, doesn't it? On the left, you've got the old world of ITIL v3. Rigid, controlling, and broken up into these separate stages that never seem to talk to each other. But on the right, you see the ITIL 4 vision. It's about co-creating value with the business, managing things holistically, and, this is huge, embracing modern ways of working, like Agile and DevOps.
So how does ITIL 4 actually tear down those silos and connect everything to what the business actually cares about? Well, it all starts with a new master blueprint. And that blueprint is called the Service Value System, or SVS for short. The best way to think about it is as the entire ecosystem for getting stuff done. It shows how you can take an opportunity or demand from the business and get all the different parts of the organization working together as one system to turn that demand into a valuable outcome.
The SVS itself is made up of 5 core components that all have to work in harmony. You've got the guiding principles, that's like the cultural foundation. Then there's governance, to provide direction, the service value chain, which is the operational engine, practices, which are like your toolkit, and continual improvement to make sure the whole system keeps getting better. They all have to work together.
All right, so let's pop the hood and take a look inside the engine room of the SVS to see how all this value actually gets made.
Right at the heart of that system is the service value chain. And I want to be really clear, this is not some rigid step-by-step process. It's a flexible operating model that just outlines the key activities you need to respond to demand and deliver a product or service. And what's so important to get here is that these 6 activities, from planning and engaging all the way to delivering and supporting, are not a mandatory sequence. Think of them as a toolkit. For any given job, whether it's fixing a major outage or building a new feature, you can combine these activities in any order you need. That's what ITIL 4 calls a value stream. And that flexibility is what makes it so fast and responsive.
Okay, here's another huge shift, moving away from processes and towards practices. See, a process is just a list of steps, but a practice is holistic. It takes into account everything you need to get the job done. The people, the tech, your partners, all of it. And the name change from change management to change enablement is the perfect example. It's not about controlling change anymore. It's about enabling good changes to happen quickly and safely.
And this expanded scope is a pretty big deal. The old ITIL v3 had 26 rigid processes. ITIL 4 blows that up to 34 flexible practices, which covers everything from risk management to software development. It gives you a much richer toolkit to work with.
But you know, a framework is way more than just models and diagrams. ITIL 4 is built on a guiding philosophy, a sort of cultural DNA that's supposed to shape every single decision you make.
The first and honestly the most important principle is to focus on value. It's simple. Every activity, every decision, every meeting has to link back somehow to creating value for the business and its customers. If it doesn't, you really have to ask, why are we doing this?
Next up is start where you are. This one is just good common sense, right? Instead of throwing everything out and starting from a blank slate, this principle says, hey, look at what's already working. Leverage the people, processes, and tools that already provide value. Don't waste time reinventing the wheel. And here's one pulled straight from the Agile playbook. Progress iteratively with feedback. Don't try to do everything at once in some giant, risky project. Break it down into smaller, manageable chunks. Get something out there, get feedback from real users, and then adjust your course. It's just a smarter way to work.
Now these are just 3 of the 7 guiding principles. When you put them all together, they create a shared mindset. They push you to collaborate, to keep things simple, to see the big picture, and to automate wherever it makes sense. This is really the cultural compass for a modern IT organization. Now, probably the biggest criticism of the old ITIL was that it was just too slow for a world that runs on Agile and DevOps. ITIL 4 was designed from the ground up to fix that exact problem.
So just to make sure we're on the same page, Agile is that iterative way of building software where you work in small increments and embrace change. And DevOps is really a culture that breaks down the wall between the people who build software and the people who run it, using a ton of automation to move faster.
And this is where it all clicks. ITIL 4 and DevOps are not enemies, they're actually partners. ITIL provides the stability and the guardrails that let DevOps teams go fast without breaking everything. For instance, instead of having a slow manual change advisory board meeting, ITIL 4's change enablement can be built right into your automated deployment pipeline. You get control without killing speed. It's all about balancing speed with stability.
And this quote just nails it. The goal isn't to be an ITIL shop or a DevOps shop. The goal is to be a high-performing team. ITIL 4 brings that service-oriented structure and mindset, transforming IT from being just a service provider into a real strategic partner that co-creates value with the entire business.
So in the end, yeah, ITIL 4 gives you an incredible blueprint, but the framework itself is just a tool. The real question it leaves us with is this: is your organization's culture truly ready to stop focusing on process for process's sake and start focusing on value? That's the conversation ITIL 4 is meant to start.